Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Usawadia here speaking. And today I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit of my creative process using different techniques. And this time, actually, I'm testing a new tool or a new software called Krita. I'm going to be using Krita, which, by the way, for the people that doesn't know about Krita, it's an open source software and it's free. I am very new. Just as a disclaimer, I am actually very new using Krita, probably like a week or so. Somebody like in my Twitch channel, which, by the way, guys, I have a Twitch channel. If you are not following yet, I recommend you to go there. The link is going to be in the description of this video. Click in that link and go to my Twitch channel and click the button follow. So because it has some good advantages where you can actually watch me work live and ask questions on the go, and I will answer with the best of my abilities. Anyway, so let's go back to this video. I'm gonna try to describe what's going on here. By the way, this video it's been a speed up, not for too much actually, maybe 100%, not to 200%, I don't remember. But what's going on right now, it's as you saw in the beginning, I started this sketches, all of them actually, creating like a simple brush and did a couple of thumbnails. And the beauty, like, or what I personally think about the beauty of like working with thumbnails is that it's so flexible. You really literally can go so many different ways just by like applying the shapes, blocking the shapes very fast, and it's also very productive wise is quite convenient because you don't waste so much time. You start like through the shapes, you start reading if your design is going to work or not, or if it's going to evoke or show like the execution of your idea. And that's what I did. So, and after that once that we established the shapes and we're happy with the shapes, I started like the next thing I started doing is applying some of the color, like playing with some colors, especially in the beginning when I'm not sure of what I'm doing, which is 90% of the time, at least for me. I have no idea what I have in mind. I just start, like I said, like playing with the shapes, and after I start seeing some things and forming some shapes in my mind, I start like throwing some colors, and from there like trying to find my color palette, as you probably saw in the beginning with the tree. I started like putting some green and gray, etc. And also what I'm doing right now, as you can probably see, it's I jump back and forth from one shape to another. I like doing this because it keeps me on the loop, like it distracts my mind, and because I have the tendency of getting bored quite easily in just working for longer periods of time in only one thing. So what I do in something that's been working quite well for me, it's like I do several or at least a couple of sketches or ideas, thumbnails or iterations or whatever, and once that I get bored from one, I jump to the other one, and once that I get bored from that one, I go back to the very first one, and so on. So that's one of the advantages of working with thumbnails, which like I said, I quite recommend it. If you haven't tried it, give it a try. Play around it. Don't think so much of what you're gonna try to design or anything. Just start like dropping some shapes, just some brush strokes right here and there, and from there just start to see what can you find. Like try to figure out the shape and everything. It's kind of like when you look at clouds, right? Like you start like seeing different images and designs and everything in the clouds. It's the same with the thumbnail. Okay, as you can see here in the video, I already started like to apply a little bit more of the rendering, the lighting, focusing more on the lighting and the shading, and trying to keep the colors. Now that I have like a better idea of my color palette, try to keep the colors kind of like in harmony, right? Like to use some like opposite color, like the green and the purple, the red and the green, etc, etc. And also kind of like the same like palette, which is like more like earth tones. It helps to keep the harmony together. So you're probably gonna see me do that for a little bit. I as far as I remember, I was trying to detail and establish more of like the design. Like I said in the beginning, it's just trying to find your color palette, etc, etc. So I don't worry so much in the beginning or focus so much in the rendering, because literally you waste so much time. When I was learning to design, or in the very beginning, I used to focus only in one part, like trying to render every single detail, and it took me forever. By the end of the day, once that I zoom out, I realized that I spent my entire day just rendering one single piece and it looked like crap. Yep, literally. So this way, as you can see, I don't zoom in too often, like almost never. I like keeping everything like zoom out, and actually some people it's been asking me, why do I do that? Like I said, it's because it helps me to keep focus in my overall shape, and by seeing everything from far away, you start seeing earlier the design elements that are working and the ones that are not, right? If the colors are actually being in the same palette, or if they match, or if there's a good contrast in value, etc, etc. And especially, and I can not recall this enough, is like to make the shape very readable. Like it needs to work right away, especially because we are doing concept design mostly for video games. Well, at least in my case, I do it for video games, and they need to read from far away, right? Because when we play the games, we always see like tiny little shapes jumping and walking, etc, etc. Okay, so I'm gonna let the video play for a little bit and try to keep describing what's going on here, because I think I focused for some time here on the rendering. I started like getting carried away with my rendering, which is not a bad idea at this stage of the drawing, because like I said, we already established our design from the very beginning, and that's why you want to have like I don't know if it's the same for you, but at least for me, my energy drains quite fast. So I think I have like an hour or two at the max like of creative energy, meaning that I like to establish my ideas like as fast as possible, because after that the next stage is the rendering part, and for that one you don't need so much creativity, right? It becomes more like mechanical. We can call it that way, a little bit more technical and mechanical, more like you can like put your robot hat, right? And start just like working and working and working and working, because you are not designing anymore, you're just establishing the colors. And especially if you already found your color palette as well in the beginning, even better. But even so, like sometimes, at least in my case, even though I already established my design and color and everything, in the end I have the tendency to do some tweaks here and there just to try to improve the designs. As I was mentioning earlier, once that I get bored from one of the images, I tend to jump to the other one. As you can see now, I'm working on the tree, and just like with the guy with the big eye, which is an alien, like I mentioned, these ideas were during a live video in Twitch, and I started with having no idea what I was trying to do. So I started like throwing some of the shapes, etc., etc., and then I was explaining to some of my viewers, like by using thumbnailing or thumbnails you can actually do whatever. And then I gave an example, like for example, like this tree, we can make him an alien by adding a huge eye, and I did like it, and we kept it that way, and we developed the idea further, and we pushed the idea a little bit further. Anyway, so what I'm doing right now, as you saw, I started with some of my darker values, because also I was experimenting in how to achieve foliage by not like one of the mistakes for a lot of people is learning is like we have the tendency of like try to draw every single detail, and by the end of the day all what it does is looks messy and like really bad. So I was trying to simplify a little bit of the shapes with different values, creating contrast with values, because remember, color it's also light and values. So I was trying to do that. Okay, so we are almost at the end of this video. I'm gonna try to keep the videos short, between 10 to 20 minutes at the max, and here on my YouTube channel they're gonna be free. But also, if you want, if you're liking what you like seeing, and if you would like to support me as well, you can actually go and be my patron, I don't know how to pronounce that one, or you can support me at Patreon, as I was saying, and you can, and there I'm gonna have some more detailed videos that will go more in depth with design elements from the very beginning, from sketching, thumbnailing, coloring, lighting, values, etc., 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 for video game characters, and also for props and landscapes. So please check that one out. It's going to be in the description of this video, as I mentioned, and you can actually support me with different amounts of money there. So it's not obligated, but it will be nice to have your support. So like I was saying, we are at the end of this video. Just a few more strokes here and there, and I guess that it's it for now, guys, and I want to thank you in advance for all your support, and thank you so much for watching. I am Uso Abadia, and I will see you next time.